Welcome to Spectrum Television News at 12. I am Uyai MM, come to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom. Let's take a look at the headlines. Tinubu seeks Africa-led energy market, demands fair pricing. IGP backs demand for better welfare by retired policemen. Plus, United Kingdom to announce first smuggling sanctions to smash gang leaders. We'll bring you details of these stories and more in a moment. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. We begin this afternoon's news from the national scene, where President Bola Tinubu has stated that Africa must take ownership of its energy resources by creating credible and transparent benchmarks that reflect the continent's realities and safeguard its economies. Speaking ahead of the Global Commodity Insights Conference on West African refined fuel markets scheduled to hold in Abuja this week, the president said Nigeria would work with regional partners to build an integrated energy market that ensures value for Africa. The conference, hosted by the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, is in collaboration with S&P Global Insights, will bring together Africa's energy leaders and global partners to discuss pricing, regulation, and market development. Away from that, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Betokun, has met with the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, over the welfare of retired police personnel. He stated this during his meeting with the protesting retirees at the police headquarters. Recall that police retirees protested in Abuja and a few other state capitals yesterday to press for the exit of the police from the contributory pension scheme. According to them, the CPS has impoverished retired policemen and officers due to delayed payment of gratuity and the next to nothing pension. Reports say there were also protests by retirees in Edo, Kwara, and Plateau states. On judicial matters, the Federal High Court sitting in Port Harcourt has adjourned proceedings to October 13, 2025 to allow President Bola Tinubu, the Attorney General of the Federation, and the sole administrator of Rivers State to respond to an affidavit filed by a civil society organization, Initiative for Freedom, Conflict Prevention and Social Integration. The suit challenges the legality of the President's declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State. In a separate but related case filed by the same organization contesting the National Assembly's ratification of the appointment of the sole administrator, retired Vice Admiral Bogate Bas, the court similarly adjourned proceedings to the same date. The adjournment was granted to allow the plaintiff's counsel to serve hearing notices on the National Assembly, which was not present in court and had yet to file a formal response. Reports say the civil society organization is questioning the National Assembly's authority to constitute a committee to oversee emergency governance in Rivers State, as well as its role in approving the state's 2025 budget. In a separate development, the Corporate Affairs Commission (CAC) has announced the postponement of the implement of new fees and penalties for document downloads on its upgraded company registration portal. Reports say the new fees were initially scheduled to take effect August 1st, 2025. However, CAC said the enforcement will now commence on September 1st, 2025. According to a public notice signed by the Commission's management, the new policy includes penalties for downloading documents more than 7 days after filing. CAC explained that the decision to postpone was made in response to feedback from users and stakeholders, as well as observed technical challenges affecting users during the transition to the upgraded system. Back here on the home front, in a determined effort to address environmental challenges and promote climate justice at the grassroots level, the Peace Point Development Foundation (PPDF), in collaboration with the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency (NOSTRA), held a one-day community engagement on environmental rights and climate justice in Ikorebidang, a quiet oil-producing community in Ona local government area of Akwa Ibom State. Our correspondent Esther Otoyo, who was present at the event, brings the details.
Long plagued the region. Speaking at the event, the coordinator PPDF, an environmental justice group, Umoi Swaiko, emphasized the importance of community participation in environmental protection. He noted that while climate injustice and environmental degradation are global issues, the impact is felt more severely at the local level where oil spills, water contaminations, and land degradation threatens livelihoods, health, and food security.
The challenge of Niger Delta is so enormous that government need to declare state of emergency in Niger Delta because of diverse challenges that is facing us. If you go to Cross River State, we have a lot of forests there. Today, those forests has gone. If you come now to Niger Delta and oil-producing communities, issues of gas flaring, issues of oil pollution, what we are doing, we work with the communities. We amplify the voices of the communities. We speak your language. We don't speak the language of only government. We have just one environment. We don't speak the language of only government. We have just one environment. Just one. By the time you allow it to go, you have gone. Your generation has gone. Your children has.
Visits JIV processes the role of the community. NOSDRA representative Akana Dongede educated residents on the agency's role in oil spill detection, response, and remediation. He explained procedures for reporting oil spills and the importance of community documentation when environmental damage occurs. Also speaking, environmental activist Ekemine Simon highlighted education, negotiations, communication.
Joint investigation visit is supposed to be carried out, is going to be carried out by a team. There is a JIV, Joint Investigation Visit. The visit is to investigate the incident, okay? And this visit is supposed to be carried out by a team. Now, when the JIV now comes, it is now going to be with members of the community forming that team.
We move now to President Cyril Ramaphosa has dismissed his embattled higher education minister weeks after a key party in his unity government filed criminal charges accusing her of lying to parliament. Ramaphosa has faced mounting pressure in recent months as several ministers from his African National Congress ANC party have been accused of corruption, deepening tensions within the 10-party ruling coalition. Recall that the second largest group in government, the Democratic Alliance, earlier this month filed a complaint accusing Minister Nobuole Nkabani of lying to Parliament to cover up the fraudulent appointment of ANC-linked figures to education authority boards. The DA, which collusion meant with corruption and mismanagement, has said graft had become standard practice under Ramaphosa's rule. Still in Africa, hundreds of people have gathered at Cairo's central train station to start the journey back home to war-torn Sudan. The travel is part of a campaign by the Egyptian government providing free train rides back to Khartoum, the capital, which has been recently recaptured by Sudanese army from its rival, the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces (RSF). Reports say Sudan has experienced a civil war since April 2023. The battle for power between the military and the RSF has caused one of the worst humanitarian crises in the world. On the foreign scene, gang leaders, corrupt officials and police officers, fake passport dealers and companies supplying small boats will reportedly be among those publicly named in UK sanctions targeting people smuggling. The measures, which are due to be unveiled on Wednesday, are central to Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer's plan to clamp down on small boat crossings by going after the global criminal networks behind them. Reports say dozens of individuals and entities are expected to be hit with asset freezes, travel bans, and restrictions from engaging with the UK's financial system under the sanctions. This comes as the government comes under growing pressure to stem the flow of small boat crossings.